Alright, today we're working on problem solving involving exponential growth. Now, I've given you guys a formula. This formula is quite important here because not only does it help us with population growth rates, next chapter we're going to get into finance and compounding interest, and this is pretty much that exact formula. Okay, so you can use this to estimate how much money you'll have after a certain date. What we're going to do is use this information to estimate the population as of 2012. Okay. So what this population formula reads, PN. PN represents the final amount or the final number. So when we're solving for a population, essentially what the future amount will be. P, usually called naught. You guys will recognize it maybe as a zero. It's called P naught. And what it is the initial amount of a population. So if we're taking a population as of now, we have to actually find out the number of people. R represents our growth rate. So what percent is the population growing by per year? And N represents the number of growth periods. Are we calculating it over the course of 1 year, 10 years, 5 years? So we're just going to relate these to each other. Pn is our final amount. P naught's the initial amount. R is the growth rate, and N is the number of periods, okay? So, though this stat is a little out of date, we can use it to solve for today, and it's probably relatively accurate. As of 2009, the world's population was 6.79 billion people. The growth rate was 1.14% per year. Okay, so we have to put that in. It's very important that we know how much it's growing per year. Let's calculate today's population. So let's calculate the population as of January of this year, or next year. Right? So in 1 month, we're going to be in 2013. So we're going to look for the population as of 2013, so a month from now. Okay? So, let's try to relate all of our information to our formula. Pn is equal to P naught, 1 plus R to the power of N. Okay, in this case, scroll up a little. What is P naught from the information we've given here? Yeah, what is the initial amount? Okay, 6.79 billion people. That's going to be our P naught. That's our original amount of the population in 2009. What is our growth rate? Not 4. 1.14% per year. So that'll be our growth rate. Okay? Now, what is our PN? Our future amount. Yes, Trice. Yeah, 2013. And it's going to be an actual amount. So this is going to be our variable. We're going to be looking for this. We still don't know what it is yet. And N. N is the number of periods. Okay, so that might be a little tricky. What would the number of periods be? Number of years. So how many years have passed since 2009 to 2013? 4. So we're going to be calculating this over the course of 4 years. So we actually have to do a little bit of math. If you're not sure how we got 4, all we did was take 2013, subtract 2009, and you got 4 years. So 4 is going to be the number of periods that we're going to be calculating this over. Okay? So let's take this information, and we're going to be using our calculators to figure this out. So Pn, or the future amount as of 2013, is our original population, which is 6,790,000,000. That's how you would type that in. That is 6.79 billion people. Damn. 1 plus growth rate. Growth rate is in a percentage, so how do I represent that as a decimal? 1.14%. What is that as a decimal? 0.0. Not 1.4. 0.0114. Good. If you don't know how you do that, you take your 1.14, divide by 100. It will give you your decimal number, which is 0.0114. So you have to make sure you convert your growth rate to an actual decimal. Do not just put in the percentage. Otherwise, your growth rates are going to go through the roof. It won't make any sense. Okay? And finally, our n, well, we've already calculated that. We know it is 4 years. So we're going to go into the exponent of n. We'll simplify that bracket. Divided by 100 to get your decimal form. Okay? So 6.79 billion is this number here. 1 plus that is very simple. We don't need a calculator. It is just 1.0114. All to the power of 4. Okay? And that's going to give us our population as of 2013, estimated population. And some of you guys said you have a rough idea of the population right now, so we'll see if this is actually accurate. 6790 followed by 6 zeros. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Bracket. Oh, I think I messed this up already.
Backspace.
Is there a backspace? Where?
Arrow.
I don't think that. Times. Okay, that works out. Times bracket. Here we go. 1.0114 end bracket to the power of. So this is my power of if I don't have the amount in here. So we're not squaring this. We're taking this to the power of 4. And then we're going to end with another bracket. Here it is.
Holy smokes.
I don't know how I'm going to be able to look at that. Someone write that down on a piece of paper so we can write it in. 710.5. Well, let's actually get the whole number. I want to get the whole number to the nearest unit. You almost have it? Okay, so what is it? 710. 8923. Okay, so this is very important here. This number. Okay, if you look, you guys estimated it to be 7.1 billion, which is pretty much what this calculates. So we can go on the assumption that this is probably relatively accurate, this formula. In your questions, I'll probably get you to round to the nearest unit, which means we're looking at 7,100,000. Oh, this comma's wrong. 104,958,924 people as of January 2013. So in 1 month, that's how many people should be on the earth according to our... Okay, so we just estimated the world's population and we looked it up. It's pretty close. We think we'll be right by the time January hits. Now, the next thing I want us to do is I would actually like us to estimate the world's population in the past. We're going to look for the world's population in the year 2000. Okay? So, obviously we can look it up, but we're going to try to reverse this formula. Assuming the growth rate was still 1.14%. In 2009, our population was 6.79 billion. Okay. So, in order to set this formula up, this one is a little different. We have our future amount, which is Pn, P naught, 1 plus the growth rate to the power of n. Now, we are going to go backwards here, which means we know what our future amount is. In the year 2000, or 2009, our future amount was our 6.79 billion. So that's what we're going to use for our future amount, 6,790 followed by 6 zeros. This is our future value. We're going to look for our amount in the year 2000. That's going to be our P naught. So we'll call that P naught. That's our variable. The growth rate will stay the same. And since we already know the growth rate to be a decimal plus 1, we're just going to do that bracket all in one shot, 1.0114. Now, here's the question. What is the amount of periods that passed from 2000 to 2009? 9. Yeah, pretty simple, right? So we know this is over the course of 9 periods. What we need to do is isolate this P naught. In order to isolate, what do I need to move to the other side? That bracket. So we're going to divide both sides by this amount. Okay? To the power of 9. And we're going to divide this number by that amount. So someone jump on a calculator and help me out here. We know that these will cancel out or create a 1. So our formula will really read P naught. So the population in 2000 is our 6,790,000,000 divided by, put a line here, divided by 1.0114 to the power of 9. We're going to jump on a calculator to figure that out. So we'll pause this for a moment. So when we type this in our calculator, we got roughly 6.13 billion, which makes sense. The population was probably not quite a billion, but around 600 million people less 9 years previous to this.